Help me reach 3,000 subscribers. Hit like and leave a comment. I really do read them all. She came in after midnight with her heels in her hand and a grin that didn't match the hour. The hallway light stayed off. She liked the drama of shadows. I was at the kitchen island with a cold cup of coffee and a spreadsheet open on my laptop. The payroll for my crew didn't care what time it was. In good company, time flies. Claire sang out, dropping her purse by the fridge. Please don't start with jealousy again. It's exhausting. I slid the laptop shut. You're late. That's not jealousy. That's a clock. You know how launches go. She walked to the sink, filled a glass, drank half. Everyone stayed. Team spirit. Don't make this a thing. I'm not making it anything. You're the one hiding your phone like it's a lottery ticket. She froze for a beat, then smirked. Cute. You've been peeking at screens now? You getting bored at the shop? Not bored, I answered. Just done with being treated like I'm some substitute teacher you can roll your eyes at. She put the glass down, the clink a little too loud. Then don't be one. You're married, Claire. Married people send a text if they're not dead by 11. Her jaw twitched. I didn't realize I needed a hall pass. You don't, I said. You need respect. She looked at me like the word tasted foreign. Can we not do this? I'm wiped. You're in that mood where you want to control everything. I stood, pushed my chair in, kept my voice level. No, I'm in the mood where I like facts. And the fact is you rolled in late, again, after dodging eye contact for 3 straight days and clutching your phone like a life ring. She shrugged, long and lazy. And the fact is I have a job that matters. Good, I said. Then I won't get in the way. Starting tomorrow, we separate schedules. You run your calendar. I run mine. I'm done waiting up and rearranging for you. She blinked, thrown off by the pivot. What does that even mean? It means if you're out, you're out. I won't plan dinner around a question mark. And stop asking me to cover your dog sitting for Lindsay or pick up your dry cleaning because you're busy saving the quarter. I'm not the backup plan. She let out a laugh that wasn't friendly. Wow. Okay. Tough guy speech. Call it what you want. It's a boundary. She grabbed her purse. I'm showering. We can finish this lecture when the sun is up. We're done, I told her. Go shower. Tomorrow we adjust operations. Simple. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have taken photos of that moment. The last time the house still felt like mine with her in it. The next morning I put the boundary in writing. I drafted a short note and left it by the coffee maker because she liked to pretend she never heard anything if it wasn't on paper. New rules. I'm handling the mortgage and utilities. Your card's off the joint account for discretionary stuff. If you'll be out past 10, shoot a text by 9 or stay over wherever you are. I'm not waiting at the door. We'll eat separately on weeknights unless we confirm by 5. Saturday mornings are mine at the shop. Sundays are yours if you want them. Keep it simple. Her reply came as a text 4 minutes later. You're unbelievable. I tapped back. Predictable. She didn't answer. I tossed my work bag in the truck and headed to the shop. On the bench were 2 alternators and a half-rebuilt V6. The smell of solvent and dust settled the blood. Gabe, my foreman, looked up from an invoice. You look like you slept on a folding chair. Close. I wiped my hands, checked the job board. What's up with the Tahoe? Customer calling every hour. Needs a harness. It's on the way, he said. You good, boss? Great. I flipped the whiteboard marker in my fingers. Clear the backlog. I might be scarce this weekend. Gabe snorted. Scarce where? You hate leaving the shop. I'm practicing not waiting on people who don't value my time. He raised an eyebrow but didn't pry. That's why he's still with me. By lunch, Claire had posted a selfie from a conference room. You couldn't miss the glass walls, the string lights they thought looked modern. Her caption was a chirpy line about big ideas and late nights. Comments poured in from her office crowd. She didn't like my posts, never did, unless they flattered her. I scrolled past and got back to Torque Specs. That evening she came home on time, which was almost comical given the speech last night. She set a plate in front of me. Eggs, toast, avocado arranged like it was for a magazine. I made breakfast for dinner, she said lightly. Let's not be weird. New ritual? I asked. The peace omelet. She rolled her eyes. I'm trying. We both said things. I said rules, I corrected. You criticized my tone. Well, your tone could sand paint, she said, then softened. I get it. I do. Work's been intense. I didn't mean to shut you out. I cut into the eggs. Then don't. It's fixable. Respect is a small lift. She reached across, rested her fingers near my plate without touching. Can we reset? You can follow the rules. That's the reset. Her mouth tightened, but she nodded. Fine. For 2 days, she played nice. She texted when she was running behind. She put her phone face up on the counter. She hugged me before leaving, quick, rehearsed. I didn't buy it. I noted it. On Thursday, she had a team mixer at a bar near the office. She mentioned it that morning like it was a weather report. I'll be at the mixer till 9, she said. It's important for visibility. You know how that goes. Do I? I asked. I adjusted the torque wrench, watching her reaction. Here's my adjustment. You go to your mixer. If you're staying past 10, stay there. No hard feelings. She frowned. You're punishing me. No. I'm not driving across town at midnight to pick you up because you don't want to Uber alone. Not my job anymore. She searched my face, trying to read if I meant it. So if I'm home at 11? The couch is comfortable, I said. Don't make my bed your landing pad after a late night. Her lips thinned. Real mature. Clarity usually is. That evening, her friend Maya invited us to a backyard thing. Burgers, beers, neighbors pretending they liked each other. I went alone. Where's Claire? Maya asked as she handed me a paper plate. Networking, I said. Big night for visibility. Linda, our neighbor who never missed a chance to stir, leaned in. Those office socials are something. My cousin works in HR, says people forget their coworkers. People forget a lot of things, I replied. Claire included. Trouble. Maya's eyes darted between us. No trouble, I answered. Just boundaries. We're updating them. Sounds serious, Linda said. It's adult, I said. There's a difference. At 8:30, Claire texted, running late. Don't wait up. I wrote back, I wasn't. At 9:15, another, we're doing one more round. Team's pumped. I left her on read. Maya watched me put my phone away. You're surprisingly calm. Calm is cheaper than anger, I said. Cheaper and more effective. Want me to talk to her? Maya offered. Sometimes she listens to me. I'll handle my house, I said. Enjoy your party. At 10:30, I shut our bedroom door, set my alarm for 5, and slept like the garage clock, steady and uninterested. In the morning, there she was on the couch, blanket over her, makeup half gone, phone in her hand. I stepped around her to the kitchen. The coffee maker burbled. The sun lit dust in the air. She stirred. You didn't open the door. You didn't knock, I replied. This is petty, Ryan. This is the cost of staying out without a plan. You can't have both. She pushed the blanket off, sat up. Are we really doing separate lives now? We're doing separate responsibilities, I said. It's efficient. She scoffed. You sound like a spreadsheet. I am one, I said. And I balance at 0 when the respect column is empty. She shot me a look like I'd spoken in numbers just to annoy her. Then she pivoted. I was going to ask, can you come to the awards night next week? Carter insists spouses are welcome. Huge deal for the team. There it was, the second wave of sweetness, too scripted. I'll pass, I said. You've got visibility down. I won't be your prop. That's not fair, she snapped. It's my career. You're supposed to support. I support what supports me, I said. But I'm not a trophy. Don't put me in a suit to decorate your table. She folded her arms. You're making it impossible. Correction, I'm making it clear. She shook her head, muttered something about prehistoric values, and went to shower. We moved like roommates after that. Polite, practical, cold. She asked if I could pick up her dog-sitting commitment Saturday morning. I declined. Saturday mornings are mine at the shop. I reminded her. The rule wasn't a poem. Saturday, I held an open garage day for clients. Gabe rolled the bay doors up, fans humming, the smell of rubber heavy and honest. Old Mr. Conway came by with donuts. A couple of my high school guys stopped in to gawk at the Mustang we'd rebuilt. Claire surprised me around noon. She walked into the garage in a neat dress that didn't belong near grease, carrying 2 coffees in a cardboard tray. You have a minute? She asked, flashing a public smile. I wiped my hands, nodded to Gabe. Cover me for a sec. To Claire, I said, make it quick. We're booked. She held out a cup. I brought you something. Thought it would be good to show my face here. Inspection or support? I said, taking the coffee. It smelled burnt, like every shop coffee ever. Pick one. Support, she said. Can't I be nice? You can't, I said. It's new. Her smile twitched. You know, you don't have to throw my effort back at me every time. I'm not throwing it back, I said. I'm reminding you that nice, without respect, is just decoration. Her eyes cut toward Gabe, who was pretending not to listen while absolutely listening. Can we not do this here? You came here, I said. Here has rules. What rules? Rule 1. I don't do veiled apologies during business hours. If you have a change to make it. Don't pitch it. She inhaled, held it. Okay, here's a change. I won't stay out past 10 this week. I'll text by 9. Happy. I'm neutral, I replied. But I noted it. She sighed. You're impossible. Then she leaned in, her voice low. Look, I have a lunch Monday with Carter. Big client thing. Don't freak out if I'm late getting back. You just said you won't stay out past 10, I reminded her. Lunch isn't past 10. She smirked like she'd caught me. So we're good. We're fine, I said. Stick to your own rule. She left the coffee and walked out, heels tapping too loud for concrete. Gabe wandered over, chewing a donut. Your wife likes to perform empathy. She likes to keep options open, I said. That's why I'm closing mine. Monday came. Around 1, Maya texted, saw Claire at Harvest on 5th. Looked cozy. Don't shoot the messenger. I called Maya. Define cozy. Use normal words. Okay, she said. They sat side by side in a booth. Lots of leaning in. Lots of laughing. Could be innocent. Didn't look innocent. Who's they? Her boss, Carter. Tall, silver hair, good suit, smug. Thanks, I said. That's enough. You okay? She asked. I'm making adjustments, I said, and hung up. I didn't storm anywhere. I didn't scroll her phone. I didn't interrogate. Instead, I made 3 calls. First to the bank to remove her secondary card from the business account. There was no reason anymore. Second to a moving service to price a short notice pickup. Data is power. Third to a locksmith to schedule new locks for the shop, not the house. My livelihood comes first. Then I did one more thing. I took an early drive to her office Wednesday afternoon. Someone else's territory, as my father would call it. I didn't go to catch her in something. I went to end gray areas. She'd left her tablet on the hallway table that morning. She'd need it for the awards rehearsal. I sent her a text. Your tablet's in my truck. I can either drop it at the front desk or bring it up. Choose. She didn't respond. I parked across from the glass tower where they kept the air cold enough to grow lettuce. The security guard at the lobby desk looked like he'd lived the same hour 300 days in a row. Drop off for Claire Keene, I said, setting the tablet in a plastic bin and writing her name. He nodded, hit a button. I turned to leave and stopped because the elevator bank vomited a small wave of her teammates into the lobby. Badges, laughter, the clatter of office shoes on tile. Claire was in the middle, head thrown back at something Carter had said. Carter walked close to her, elbow brushing her sleeve. Easy, practiced. He held his blazer over one shoulder like he rehearsed it. He saw me first. His smile didn't falter. He was good at smiling. Ryan, right? He said as if we were golf buddies. I kept my hands in my pockets. Carter. Claire blinked, then recovered. What are you doing here? Returning what you forgot, I said. Tablets at the desk. You could have texted, she said. I did, I replied. You were busy. Carter stepped a half-inch closer, like he'd step into any pause. We were just heading out to a quick client drink. Client drink at 4, I said. Efficient. Part of the job, he said. You know how it is. I do, I said. And I also know how simple it is to send a message. Claire's team had slowed around us, the way people do around unplanned theater. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't posture. I addressed my wife. New rule, I said. If you choose to make your boss your evening company, make it your ride home too. Don't use my house as a quiet place to park that choice. A woman with a sharp bob, Jess, I recognized from stories, watched Claire with a look that wasn't kind. Someone whispered. The security guard pretended not to hear, but did. Claire's mouth opened, then snapped shut. You're embarrassing me. You did that, I said. With your choices. Carter lifted a hand, playing mediator. Let me step outside of this. No harm meant either way. Smart, I said, not looking at him. I'm not speaking to you. Claire's jaw worked. We can talk at home. Not if you go for that drink, I said. I won't be there when you get back. You're giving me an ultimatum? She almost laughed. Grow up. It's a boundary, I answered. Not a threat. Boundaries don't move. Carter tried again. Claire, we should. I raised a palm slightly, still not to him. Stop inserting yourself. You're at work. He actually stepped back. That told me a lot about him. Claire looked around, realized the eyes, and chose pride over sense. We're going, she told Jess. Client's waiting. I nodded once, turned, and walked out. On the sidewalk, the air felt artificially clean. A city has a way of making personal decisions sound like traffic. I didn't rush. I didn't turn to see if she was watching me leave. She wasn't my audience. The shop stayed open late. Gabe looked up when I came in. You look like you made a big decision, he said. I made a small one, I said. The big one's next. At 9:30, she texted, heading home. Don't be dramatic. I didn't respond. Instead, I took the suitcase from the hall closet and filled it with enough to make the point. Basic clothes, toiletries, a pair of heels she wore to impress, her charger. I put it by the front door. I removed her name from the garage opener and set her key on the table. I opened the window, let the night air in, cool and ordinary. She walked in at 10:15, saw the suitcase, and froze. What's this? You're staying elsewhere tonight, I said. Maybe longer. Your choice. You can't be serious. As a canceled invoice. She dropped her purse, looked from the suitcase to me and back. Because I had a drink with my boss? Because you've been meeting him after hours, hiding your phone, rolling your eyes when I asked for basic courtesy, and you picked him at the lobby when I gave you a clean exit. This is me choosing me. Last call. She tried on her innocent face. Nothing happened. You're blowing smoke. Then this won't bother you, I said, nodding at the suitcase. Pack the rest later. You can't kick me out of my own house. Correction, our house. You're welcome back for a conversation in daylight with a plan and proof. Tonight you're out. She crossed her arms. I'm not going anywhere. I picked up the suitcase, set it outside on the porch with 2 fingers. You are. She stared at me like I'd broken a social rule no one else knew. Ryan, stop. Please. You're being extreme. No, I said. I'm being exact. You told me good company makes time fly. Great. If his company makes it fly, live with him. She flinched like the line cut deeper than she wanted to show. You're punishing me because I'm successful. I'm ending a contract because you aren't honoring it, I said. That's not punishment. That's business. Let me in, we'll talk. We won't, I said. I talk to partners. You've been acting like a tourist. You can't do this, she tried again, grasping now. I can and I am. I opened the door wider. Take the suitcase. She stood there, calculating. Then she grabbed the handle, pulled it across the threshold with a scrape, and glared like the earth owed her a softer surface. You'll regret this. I regret the last 3 months, I said. This is the first thing I don't regret. She stomped down the walkway, heels catching in the cracks, phone at her ear already, voice rising into the night. Not a scream, just noise, like a radio station I didn't listen to anymore. I slept. In the morning, I drafted a message to family and our small circle, not a smear campaign, just clarity. It read, for transparency, Claire has been spending evenings with her boss without sharing that with me. Last night at her lobby, she chose that path. I asked her to stay elsewhere while I take next steps. I won't engage in speculation or drama. This is not a debate. Thanks. I sent it and put my phone face down. I didn't scroll replies for sport. They came in anyway. Gabe, here if you need me. Maya, I'm sorry, and for what it's worth, I saw enough to back you up. Linda, knew it. My sister, you deserve better. No one told me to calm down. That was new. At 9, I called my guy who handles paperwork. Draft the documents, I said. No mud, no mess. We're done. Fast, he said approvingly. You sure? I've been sure since last night. Claire tried the soft press at noon. She texted, then called. I let it roll to voicemail. She tried again at 3. I'm sorry, her message began, too smooth. I lost track of boundaries. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's just a stressful season. Can we reset? I'll do better. I'll cut back on happy hours. Please don't make a permanent decision over a misunderstanding. I played it once, filed it under performances, and sent a single reply. I heard you. Next step's already in motion. At 5, Jess, the sharp Bob from the lobby, messaged me out of nowhere on social. We weren't friends. She'd found me anyway. She wrote, not my circus, but you're not crazy. It's been obvious for weeks. People talked. Sorry. I didn't thank her. I didn't need strangers to validate the math. But I screenshotted it for the folder I was keeping for my sanity, not for a fight I didn't want. That evening, Linda caught me at the mailbox, pretending to check hers for the third time that day. She with him? She asked, eyes bright. She's not with me, I said. That's the relevant part. You okay? Better than fine, I said. Cleaning the shop is always noisy. After, it's quiet. The next 2 days were an odd mix of silence and small earthquakes. Claire tried showing up once around 7. I met her on the porch. Paperwork's in, I told her. When it's signed, we'll discuss logistics. You're really making it official, she said softly. It was official when you stopped being present, I replied. This is just ink. I'll lose everything, she said, testing sympathy. You'll lose what you disrespected, I said. That's how it works. She stood there for a long minute, like she thought time could be a tool. Then she played a card I didn't expect. Carter says we should keep this private, she said. For both our sakes. Carter can keep a lot of things private, I said. I'm not one of them. Don't post anything, she said quickly. I didn't, I said. I did something older than posts. I told the people who are relevant. You humiliated me. You did that, I said. I just refused to be quiet about it. She left, and the house exhaled. The dog, hers, technically, but mine by responsibility, watched the door with the pure loyalty only animals have. I scratched his head. We'll figure out where you land, I said. You didn't choose any of this. Within a week, the ripple hit her office. Maya called me. You didn't hear it from me, but there was a closed-door meeting. Carter pulled Claire in and let her go. He used words like optics and focus. He's terrified something sticks to him. Smart move, I said. For him. She's furious, Maya said. She says you destroyed her career. I didn't, I said. Her decisions did. I just didn't stand in front of them. Then the practical stuff. The paperwork processed without drama because I didn't make it dramatic. I asked for what was fair and necessary, not more. I kept the house and the shop because I'd built both before her. We divided what could be divided. I didn't chase or haggle. She sent one last long message after her exit interview. Page after page about how I didn't understand her ambition, about how small men fear big rooms, about me being stubborn, cold, moralizing. I skimmed it the way you skim a manual for a machine you already know you won't use. Then I wrote back a dozen words. I wish you clarity and peace. We are over. Pick up your things Saturday. On Saturday, she came with Maya and a storage bin. Maya didn't meet my eyes at first, then did. You look better, she said. I am, I said. You? She grimaced. I'm prepared for a long afternoon of sorting sweaters. Most of it's boxed, I said. I'd made sure. No one needed to linger. Claire walked through the living room like she'd never seen it, fingers grazing the back of the couch. A tour of a museum where she once had a membership. Bit cold, she said, glancing at the bare shelves I'd cleaned of her framed trips and office trophies. Intentional, I said. Less to dust. She shook her head with that old disdain. You always did love your emptiness. It's called space, I said. I fill it with things that don't lie to me. Maya winced like she'd stepped on something sharp. Claire hissed. You're cruel. No, I said. I'm done. We stacked the plastic bins in the trunk of Maya's car. The dog followed Claire to the driveway, then turned and trotted back to me without being called. She noticed. You're keeping him? I'm keeping stability, I said. He knows this yard. She looked like she might fight over the one loyal thing left, then thought better of it. Fine, she spat. Keep it all. House, dog, your little kingdom. It's home, not a throne, I said. You could have been queen if you acted like a partner. She got in the car and slammed the door like that could be the last word. I watched them drive off, a bin of throw pillows sliding against the glass. The silence afterward didn't feel empty. It felt earned. By Monday, the people who'd once rallied around her started keeping distance. Lindsay stopped tagging her in brunch photos. The group chat she ran fell silent. Linda, who never missed gossip if it begged, reported from the mailbox beat, she's renting over by the highway. Short lease. I hear the place is loud. I hope she can rest, I said. Everyone needs sleep. You're colder than I thought, Linda said, almost impressed. I'm steady, I corrected. There's a difference. Gabe noticed the change before even I did. You're faster, he said a week later as I knocked out an electrical diagnostic in half the usual time. Less distracted. I cut a noise source, I said. Freeze up bandwidth. He nodded in that way men do when they don't need the details. One evening, months later, I got dinner with a woman named Dana. We met at the parts counter of all places. She runs a landscaping crew and can reverse a trailer into a tight alley without flinching. We traded war stories about clients who think weekends are optional and weather patterns that don't care about deadlines. When she laughed, it wasn't a performance. When I checked my phone, it wasn't for a ghost text. We parted with a plan, not a guess. I finally replaced the ancient couch. I repainted the living room a color that didn't try to impress. I started meeting Gabe and the guys for early breakfasts on Fridays before the shop opened, a plate of eggs and quiet jokes that didn't involve pretending to be anyone else. I made a small down payment on a fishing boat I'd wanted since my 20s. I called my sister more. I returned texts from friends I'd let slip because drama had eaten time. As for Claire, I don't know the day-to-day. That was part of the point. I heard once, through Maya, that she'd bounced from contract to contract, not landing anywhere long. People Googled, people remembered. Carter kept his chair, of course. Men like that always find a way to stay unbruised. But he stopped standing near employees and lobby photos. Optics, as he would say. Months after the papers were final and the dust had become part of the furniture, Claire showed up one last time. Not at my door. She learned that lesson. She found me at a charity car meet, where we were raising money for a kid with medical bills. I was leaning on a fender, watching a dad explain horsepower to his son like it was a bedtime story. She walked up slow, hands empty, hair different in a way that was meant to say new life. "You look good," she said. "I am good," I answered. "What do you need?" "Closure," she said softly. "That's not something I can hand you," I said. "It's something you build when you stop lying to yourself." She looked down, and for the first time in a long time, I saw a piece of the woman I'd married, not the character she'd been playing. "I thought I could keep everything," she admitted. "Freedom, attention, the house, your patience. I thought if I performed enough, you'd fold." "You misread the audience," I said. "I wasn't watching for your tricks." She nodded, swallowed. "You won." I opted out, I corrected. "That's different." "Do you hate me?" she asked. "No," I said. "I'm indifferent." "It's better than hate." She took a breath, held it, let it go. "You were right about respect." "Everyone is, eventually," I said. "They just learn it the easy way or the expensive way." She half smiled, a ghost of a good memory. "I'm paying." "So did I said. "But I paid earlier." She looked at the car, the crowd, the little boy pointing at Chrome. "You built a life without me." "I built a life," I said. "You removed yourself from it." "That's the whole story." She nodded, took a step back. "Okay," she said. "Goodbye." "Goodbye, Claire." She walked away without drama, which might have been the first honest exit she'd ever made. I watched her go, then let my attention slide back to the kid with his dad and the way the sunlight hit the hood. It was a good day. No ghosts. No performances. Just work I respect and people who respect me back. That night, back home, I took the dog out and stood in the yard while he investigated the same patch he loved months ago. The air held that clean stillness you only get on ordinary evenings. My phone buzzed once. A photo from Dana of a project she'd finished, lines crisp, edges sharp. "Nice cut," I texted. "Clean work." She replied with a thumbs up and a suggestion. "Early coffee tomorrow? I'll be in your part of town." I wrote back, 9. My shop. When the morning came, I was already there, the bay doors open, the place smelling like oil and possibility. She rolled up in her truck, stepped out with a grin that wasn't for an audience, and handed me a coffee without a speech attached. We stood in the doorway and watched the street wake up. It felt like a new thing because it was a new thing, not a performance. That's it. No triumphal music, no fireworks. Just a clean exit from a mess and a better entry into myself. I don't run on hope anymore. I run on respect. It's quieter. It's steady. And when someone tells me good company makes